Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installment of It Came From the Workbench series. This is in episode number 5 of volume number 26. What was once a red cat ascent and was named Rattlecat when it was a very rattly cat. And now there's no cat and no rattle. But I don't think we've had a rig change names midstream. So also hidden in this, there's a little bit of there's a junk view. There's a little junk view in here because y'all know me, man. Let me grab a cover. I have a great many of these because I do not like gear covers. I will attempt to avoid them whenever possible. I could fill like a gallon Ziploc bag with gear covers. I can think of 4 or 5 that are probably running in the whole fleet. This is the gear cover from an Amazon Gearbox, which was my go-to absolute choice. If I was looking for a gearbox, I would grab that thing. Good reduction. Dig works okay. Inexpensive, $60. Now showing up on Amazon as of recently is the Amazon Gearbox, sold by a different seller. And the Amazon, that Gearbox seller has them, these are half red, half silver. This Amazon seller has either black or gold, which is kind of an orangey, it's an orangey gold. It's somewhere in between the two. And I purchased one because I saw the cover. I purchased one based purely off of the cover and was like, those look awfully, awfully similar. Yeah, it's the same thing. So there's the plate. There's the gear cover. There's the plate. There's the gear. It's the same thing. We don't need this part because we put it in there. I'll put it to where you can see it. There it is. So what I did was, we already had this skid installed. You'll see there's screws, no screws. I wanted to straighten this drive shaft back up, the upper shaft. My apologies. I wanted to straighten this upper drive shaft up so it wasn't so close to the motor. So I just there's a little piece of aluminum in there, and it has 8 holes in it, 4 for screws, and then 4 to mount the gearbox. And I made the little plate, and it went in between. And then I just slid the gearbox to where I thought the drive shaft angles, the 3 drive shaft angles, looked pretty good. And I marked it, and I drilled 4 holes, and I mounted it down. And then I realized that the stock mechanism for mounting the dig servo is a big fella where the back of the servo, it would be right about here where the shock is mounted. And we've got a power wagon on here that comes to, well, a hair behind where that is. So I was like, we're going to have to do something different. I also really like the Amazon Gearbox because the provision by default is for a standard size servo. And I prefer that. But I had this Injora 7kg fellow off to the side because he got replaced by the Flash Hobby 1227, which are now completely unavailable. That's in Zobazu. Anyway, that's a completely different story. So it's like, I've got this guy. We'll just cut ourselves a little bit of carbon fiber there. We can do the do. It doesn't quite have the speed of the 1227. But most importantly, it uses a normal Futaba 25 spline, so you can put any horn on it. And this one was really reliant on using that big offset horn. I would actually prefer to get this over even more a little that way. So I'm not going to say that this mounting plate is going to be the last one, and I'm not worried about the weight. The whole mechanism, the servo and the plate that it's mounted to is well under an ounce. It's a very light servo, and it definitely works. It works on the bench, and because we're on dig now, the rear drive shaft, I had to cut it down 3 times to get it to where it is now. And you'll see at full droop, see at full compression, we're bottoming out. Like that's as absolutely short as I'm allowed to make it, or as long as I can have it. Both. It's as long as I can have it and as short as I can make it, because otherwise full droop will get too much play in that and it'll try to pop out. So someone in the comments had said, how long till we see dig? And when I saw these for $30, $29.99 for that gearbox, and thought, yeah, I wonder if it's the same. I'll take a flyer on it. Yes, it is absolutely the same. And you can see, I don't know how well the camera will show it. It just looks mostly like a stack of coins, the gold. This front piece, the back of it, and then the part of the dig unit, they are all just a very slightly different shade of gold. I ordered the gold one because the gold one could get here one day faster than the black one, so that I could get the thing put together. Also, who ain't searching for a heart of gold? Oh, and you can't see it with the body on anyway. Yeah. So we got gold. Oh, and as promised, look, a slipper. So that's an associated spring and a lock nut, and it looks like the lock nut is down far enough. And I'm so confident that the lock nut is down far enough, I'm totally not putting this wrench in my pocket for when we go out there and drive it, because if this thing loses the ability to drive its wheels, I have the feeling that we will know exactly why that happened. The slipper will have loosened itself. I would love bigger pads, not pads. I would love bigger plates. We've got that little, look at that little wee. So we don't have a lot of slipper area. And what I did notice, and I have at least a vague, fleeting recollection of from the last time that this guy got wheeled in that State of the Canyon episode, it was that once I clamped this all the way down, it lost some of its forward drive, because I think that little bit of slip, it was utilizing that little bit of slip. And then I believe since last time, the upper links have changed. I'm not 100% sure. I needed to change the pinion angle because through the swing arc, the pinion angle changes quite a lot. But it stays in a pretty straight line to the gearbox. It's not optimal. The front looks a lot better. But it's untested and undriven, so I don't know what it's going to do. I didn't bother to rescale it. Oh, no, I did. Oh, that was another one. Put the gold wheels in the deep woods. These are the hot storms. I mentioned the hot storms recently. The hot storms are, the word I would be searching for is heavy. When this thing was on the silver Injoras or KYX or whatever the silver wheels that were on it during its last installment, this thing was sitting at 4.97 pounds. As configured right now, sure, we're picking up a little bit of weight from the dig, and we're picking up a couple ounces between the dig and the servo to actuate the dig. So that would, 2 ounces would be 1/8 of a pound, so that would be 0.12 pounds. So we should be at around 5.1, maybe 5.15. We're not. We're at 5.8. So these are heavy. So the sprung to unsprung ratio, we definitely put more weight on with these than we did there. So even adding that weight, the sprung to unsprung ratio is going to improve. Still running the little 3S 850, and I had noticed this rig could run 4S today and probably be absolutely fine, because the BEC in the 40 amp Rhino, all it has to manage is the receiver and this little guy who's on for a second at a time. So not ruling out that we have yet another 4S rig in the fleet, but at least for the purposes of driving it today, it will be on 3S. I have a surplus of those 3S batteries now. I have not relocated the body mounting position, and I have considered and reconsidered about putting a bumper on the front, welding up a bumper, and have not managed to arrive at any sort of consensus as to whether or not I want to do it. The body sits almost exactly the way I would want it to. The apu. Should I trim that up a little more? Could do, but I don't think it's a problem. If anything, it might be a little squish limiter. It'll put some pressure on the links. We'll find out. We will find out. I also did not correct. I still think that chassis side panhard mount needs to go up. There is I would say a 4 or a 5 millimeter spacer there. You can't see it, but I can. Right? Right there. Oh, there he is. Little shiny boy right there. That needs to go to like a 7 or 8 millimeter. A couple more millimeters down will help cure the bump steer problem. But that is a bench bump steer problem. On the rocks, I don't notice it at all. Zero. And you want to talk about the different interpretations of gold. That's orange, right? That's orange. I'm not sure this is gold. This is like an orange, like if you took the color of butter and... Yeah, look at that. Yeah. These are just different shades of metallic orange. Somebody will make us something gold eventually, right? We'll get gold. We'll find gold eventually. We got to drive this on the deep woods, on the squid inserts. I have numerous other options. I just know that the mini pins, and we were loving the mini pins, the Pro Comps from Injora, they're not going to work on this because this thing is going to need a very soft insert, and these are about as soft as I've got. The set of Canyon Trails, which is mounted up to something else around here somewhere, with the inserts that were brought in by the gentleman who is behind the Hardbody Bronco build, I think this thing needs inserts that soft, like squishy, squishy, squishy soft, because I think his PSI is pretty low. We're going to see what forward drive looks like. We're going to see how the dig feels. We're going to do the things. It's just a beautiful day to be out driving in the canyon. So what we should do is that. Start off today at Daphne's. I think Daphne's tests a lot of things. First off, I wanted to see if we have enough forward drive to just get up here, and we kind of do. How about here? Yeah, see, I feel like I have a fairly good sense of what is working and what is not. You see the catch release on the tires? I think even with the added weight, okay, let's try shuttle side. Yeah, straight through. Is our wheel weight now too heavy? Which is not a thing that I think I have said before. Something feels not optimized. Okay, get that pumpkin over. Let's see, what kind of shuttle do we get here? Like next to none. So like that little slip and slide, these are river stone. They're gonna bump you around a little bit. We just got to let it warm up. We got to let the suspension cycle through. We got to let it warm up. We can't make decisions yet. So dig ordinarily serves as pretty much a cheat code. Into pulling over at yellows there at the end of the side hill. It's pretty planted. We've got a little bit of slip, not too much. Try to aim a little higher. It doesn't even need the dig. That was a suboptimal approach angle, and you would not know had I not just told you. Yeah, that's super planted. I was hoping to get it into a spot where we would get the lift. I don't know if there's a spot where we can get it to where we get the lift. Yeah, this guy is stuck to the ground. So in the question of Is the wheelway too high? No. No, 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 no. We could potentially go a little softer on the insert. And honestly, from this little bit, I don't think I would care for the 4S. I think the initial snap would be too much. See over here, deadliest on the Montanas. Yeah, when the weight transfers onto the rear, it feels even better. That is super flat. Now, we've got a, well, I put a bunch of holes in the chassis, right? For rear upper link mounting positions, and then I just use the top one every time. Let's get dumb here. If I can get that axle off of where it's hooked, that rear axle. We're pivoting on axle and drive shaft pretty much. Oh yeah, come on, do it. That was not the it to which I was referring. Oh. Ooh, dig. Dig is so nice. We love it, the dig. All right, harder. This is a spot where. My apologies to everyone watching and the rig itself. I could see on the brim of my hat a spider walking on the brim of the hat towards my face. And while I'm not arachnophobic, I'm also not a person that is like, yes, please let a spider walk on my face. Let's get more of this side. Try to sidle it around. Ooh, little dig save. Little dig save again. Yeah, the Endura, the little 7 kg Endura, it's quick enough. It's definitely quicker than a 4409. I think it's quicker than the DS Power, the little DS Power full-size half height, and around the same price. Do I like having to make micro servo brackets for everything, or do I like having a micro servo bracket thrust upon me? No. But buying dig servos, particularly at what it costs for micro servos, is something especially painful to me, because we're talking about a servo. I have had this servo energized for 8 seconds the whole time we've been out here. So dropping $60 on a servo, which gets used sparingly at best. Oh, 2-speed's even worse. For a 2-speed shifter, give me the cheapest servo that will fit in that spot. Yeah, once that side lifts up, and I think that spacer right there, I think we've got panhard jacking right there, where the load on the one side is twisting the other side up, because I think are we collapsed on that passenger rear? We're pretty collapsed. Our cross weight on this guy is pretty good. There, we set it back down. I think what we have here is a tire combination that's very good. I will give it a very good rating, but I don't think it's the super optimal. This guy is going to find his tire and insert, and we're going to help him. We're going to go places. We might as well go to mean, cruel, and angry places like this dark crevasse, which is not really wide enough to fit a vehicle down. The goal is to emerge from the other side. But what we have here are underhangs. And, I mean, the camera can barely see it. So you know that I can barely see it. I definitely felt slipper right there. The slipper may have saved us right there because we may have been bound pretty good. Okay, you gotta go counter to your instinct here because we gotta get this tire up and out. No, there it is. Come on, you can pull it out. Power it out. Power it out. Nope. Whoo. It is not. Hannah is not the deadliest of the Montanas by mistake. I don't know how to correct what has happened to us. We're facing the wrong direction now. We were so close to escaping. Your only hope now, my friend, is to escape back out from whence you came. We do not accept defeat. We don't accept the hands. Okay, we'll get a little more this side on the entry. Higher, 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 up, 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 up. Nope, that's too. Is that too far? We gonna find out. Yeah, that was too far. That is a perfect. That's a two-hander. That is a perfect pull me out of what you've gotten me into. And I'm not even sure if this slot is the worst one. Because I feel like ye old waterfall side over here might be the worst one. Entry's mean. The middle's mean. Okay, there's two sides. And one is worse than the other. I'm not sure I can determine which one is the worst one. Left side is the quote-unquote conventional side, and it is going to try to roll them. If that front tire, it didn't just try to roll him, it ejected him entirely. Oh yeah, that dig feels real good. I disassembled. I pulled the gold box all the way apart because I was very curious. It's the same exact guts that are in the $60, the QT version. So it's the same gearbox, it's just a different color. The anodization quality is not there. So if you're looking for something for cosmetics, this is not the guy. All the other parts are identical. It's got that same horrible metal spur, which you throw away immediately. But it's not non-graded zinc-plated hardware anymore. It came with graded screws all the way around. I couldn't use any of them because I'm rebuilding the box for use with an FMM, but it was nice to see. It just wants to pop him back over. We're gonna get everything hot. We're gonna get everything hot. Oh, I had it. Did you see it? It was just a fleeting moment of we had enough bite in the spot we were at that I thought I could have pulled out of it. All right, there's the other side here, and I don't know which side is worse because we're at an angle here, my friends. This is an angle up. I am trying to shuttle to right. How's my drag brake looking? It's okay. I'm trying to shuttle to the side of this point here, but without flopping. There it is. Okay. Now we gotta move ledge to ledge. We're not rock crawling here. We're rock climbing. I need to get driver front over the lip, over, without too much bounce. Okay, try sawing back the other way. I don't know if there's enough out there. Okay, there we go. Next step. There is not a lot out here. Real dusty up there. Like this, we've got the stability. The stability is definitely there. It's just, I don't know if we have enough to bite up over that. Yeah, we must have a little bit of belly hang there in the middle. Gonna saw it over, okay. Oh, we're back in. Nope. Oh. I've never been mad about a rig with dig, unless we're talking about original 10.3 gearbox. Then the dig is so unpredictable. Like, is it going to engage? Is it going to disengage? That, yeah, the 10.3 box, man. I gave it the tiniest bump. I think setup-wise, I think we're real close. I think, revisiting old thoughts, the tire insert is close, but I don't think it's it. So let's try a soul-crushing ascent from this side, see if we do any better. Up the steps, no problem. Not a lot out here in the middle. We've got a transition here. That little point right there. And now the question is, are we into that, like a death hole? There's a little vert, passenger rear. Try to bump to the side of it. There we go. If we can get past that, now we've shuttled too far. There's no joy over there. Okay, let's cut it back this way and try to pull inside. Super predictable. Like I feel what it's gonna do. That lift there, I think it's jacking in the front. So that's the cross weight actually doing that. Okay, this is a much easier shuttle side here. Because even lifting that leg, right there, we're all the way up. It still feels nice. Yeah, we could, once, this isn't, oh, look at the loose stuff, cutting loose. Yeah, what do they say, how long is it supposed to take for stuff like this to cure? And that's for real concrete. The cure time's for real concrete. This ain't real concrete. This is simulated concrete. All right, we're gonna hit this hard line here again, right here. If we can get off the steps, there's that little hard edge there. Okay, so here's where we were on the hard edge. We don't want too much shuttle. Last time we had full right lock and we were still shuttling left. There's quite a bit of dust kicking out, and there it is. It is an ejector and a rejector. It's steep, but we want what we want, right? And I want to be able to hit this. I get to right there. And yeah, sure, it's fine. We're 60 plus degrees. Probably in that 70 degree area, pretty close. Rear suspension is not fully collapsed, and that's what I want to see. Okay, let me get back in that spot. I want to get a little, right about there. Yeah, see, if you can bump in this situation, you're doing reasonably well. All right, let's try. Yeah, it will, the bump steer, it will raise that wheel so high and still be climbable. Like, we're still pulling forward in a determined three-wheel motion. Okay, it's just about finding the line that's going to get us over that little hook. And we don't want to shuttle too far, because the left shuttle comes off. Yeah, that bounced us back. There it is. It is a quick way down. It is a quick trip to the bottom. Yeah, I can get to right there. Like pretty much every time. And this is pullable. This can be pulled. But as soon as I get into that attitude right there, that's the ejector. You're in the ejector seat. Uh-oh, ejector seat. Make a little plaque, put it up there. I could do this all day. And rather than, okay, one more hit. We're gonna do one more hit. I honestly expected there to be some heat in that motor, like it to be at least warm. No, it's the exact same temperature as the rest of the truck. Figured he could clear his leaves off himself. I don't know if this is a deceptively hard line. Like, I don't know if it's as difficult as if it appears as difficult as it is, or if it appears more difficult than it is. I don't know how this line shapes up. Part of me wants to say, I'm watching we're drag brake falling a little bit. Part of me wants to say maybe one right up rear spring, but we're not fully collapsed right there. And we're pretty well loaded. We've got a little bit of weight on the front tires, but most of the weight's down there on the back axle. And like, you can't fault how well he's doing. Ooh. Little dig save there. Yeah, it really wants to push right. And not the rig, the obstacle. Like right there. We have no weight on the front axle. None. And it's just holding. Can we dig it down? It's a pretty good fall. Three dog dig. A dig activation is going to drop you a good bit. So we shoot for a goal. The dig works great. The $30 dig box is 100% Canyon certified, because it was certified when it was the $60 gearbox, and now it's half as much with better hardware in it. We need that's two-wheel driving right there. The fronts were just off the ground. We've got to research and by research I mean try some different tires out. I don't think these are the guy. I don't know if it's the tire or the insert or both. I think the weight in the wheels is fine. I think these wheels should stay because the orange looks nice with the orange on his body. This to me qualifies as test successful. Like, everything worked. And we are going at dummy lines. So if we're getting there, we're getting there. This guy's definitely getting there. We have a lot of other tires we can test, because this particular build has not really been tested on very many tires at all. Like 3 different tires maybe, and we've made changes. So we've got to adjust to those changes. Hopefully you will join us here in the Canyon as we change to those adjustments and adjust to those changes. I do thank you so very much for watching. I invite you to comment below with any questions, comments, or concerns, or just whatever you got. Like, show up down in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe, consider a channel membership, or picking up a t-shirt. But most of all, 2 things. In between now and when we meet again, please, do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. And y'all come back now, you hear, right? Like, come on back and see us again. Can I get out of this with just dig? Well, I can only dig to there. So no. We'll see you next time, everybody.